Medical scientists conclude that healing, rejuvenation, and restoration of all body functions occurs during healthy sleep. Although 3 million Americans every year see a healthcare provider for insomnia, we all know that sleep pills may have various side effects. The research team at Vacher Medico's Medical Center in Buffalo Grove has finally developed a method of non drug sleep restoration using physical and reflex therapy. Neurofeedback is used to assess sleep quality. Our patients who went through the treatment confirmed the effectiveness of this therapy and improved their sleep. Moreover, improvement of the cardiovascular system, digestion, urinary, and reproductive system, increased physical activity, and memory improvements are also noticed.
Okay guys, welcome to this seminar, which is natural restoration of the sleep problems. And why this seminar is so important. First of all, this is life-changing seminar because there's a lot of information about this sleep problems and how to fix it with so many medications and all that. But there is no like hands-on, like real practical workshops with these problems, and we are the pioneers in this field. So, and you guys in the whole world, first ones. I mean, when I speak English, right? Because we already did Russian the seminars, and now it's English, and we're gonna do it properly and effectively. So, first thing is, what is sleep? What is phenomenon of sleeping? How we fall asleep? Is it like mandatory? Is it naturally, or we can just, you know, control our sleep mechanisms? So obviously we cannot control it because after a certain age, you know, people come to the point that they actually cannot control their bodies. So let's say if you're like a young kid and you can run 20 miles or whatever, next day you feel alright because your body recoups fast. But if you do it now, so maybe you will be dead because your body is giving up on you little by little, you know. So that is why we need, at this point, after 40, we need these instructions how to use this body properly. How to use this body to make it last longer for you, because you have just one life, right? And if you abuse your body, if you exploit it the way you exploit it right now, eventually you will end it as soon as you can. Because you see, whatever we have now is a result of your life, right? It's results of your deeds. And whatever you own, possess now, it's because you've done it yesterday. Same thing, if you see like something wrong, so it means you making something wrong. If your body is not, like behave the way you want them to, that means something wrong. Okay, so the thing is, sleep is a key point, is like a crucial point of making his body work the way you want it to. Okay, so why sleep? Again, so sleep is it's like the only thing in the world that recovers, heals, and rejuvenates. Nothing else works like sleep. If you have good, efficient, and quality-wise, like productive sleep, then you don't need anything else. You just fall asleep. Next morning you're fresh, new, and you just do things, how you're supposed to do, right? And I'm going to start with a little science, behind it, because we have to, like make sure that you understand, because you're paying money for this course, and we want you to get out of this course, like everything. Okay, so those money you pay worth it. And by the way, we have experienced that after this course, people fall asleep right away. They feel much better, and they say this is amazing. So I want you to experience the same thing, okay, guys? And if you have any questions, just let me know. Raise your hands or whatever, and just ask the questions, because we will make sure that you implement these things later and you in-program it in your computer, okay? So, sleep, again. Conventional science. Sleep is like a natural phenomenon that controls your anabolism, which is, these words, I don't want to use this kind of medical science words, but so if you have questions, just ask me, okay? We need sleep as a battery to recharge on your cell phone or whatever thing. Because if you don't recharge yourself, or let's say cell phone, you won't be able to use it next day, right? So sleep is important to make sure that you recharged. And recharging yourself is anabolism, which is creating the energy molecules, which is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So this fuel you need for next day. If you don't produce enough ATPs during night, you won't be able to function next day. So depends how much fuel you produce during night. That's how you will act tomorrow. So the sleep is actually recharging and producing these ATPs, because there is no way that you produce ATPs during the day, okay? And there's no way you can take shot of ATPs, because you need like tons of ATPs to make sure, so they would go through membranes and like collaterally detour the liver. There's no way how you can inject in yourself ATPs. The only way is just through metabolism, okay? So whatever you eat has to become ATPs, so you will be able to digest food, you will be able to think, you will be able to do your job and everything like that. So sleep is, first of all, is anabolism, which is creating your energy fuel so that you will be able to exploit this body. And the nervous system that is responsible for anabolism is parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest. The opposite to it is sympathetic, which is fight and flight. So, and sleeping mechanism is very complex. And it takes a lot of science, a lot of knowledge to realize exactly how it works, but I will try to explain it in short version so you kind of have a picture of it. Because if you know exactly how it works, it's easy to implement these techniques that we will offer you afterwards. Okay? So sleep happens thanks to two systems. And one is inhibition of RS, which is, there is a reticular formation. It's the system that keeps you awake, that keeps your level of alertness up. And that's complex system in your brainstem, okay? And that system is always boosting your neurons. This RAS, reticular ascending system, it's called. Or RAS means alertness reticular ascending system. And that system consists few more centers of brainstem. Those one center produce the epinephrine. That center called nucleus ceruleus. And those norepinephrines, they shoot up to the thalamus, hypothalamus, and cortex, and then they keep you awakeness, The other system is produce serotonin, and that system called nucleus raphe, and produce serotonin that keeps you attention, keeps yourself satisfied, keeps you like little kind of happier. And then there is dopamine system, which is crucial for Parkinsonism, and it also shoots this dopamine, so your thoughts will be colorful. It kind of creates this little, like images when you think. And the other one is we have lateral hypothalamic nucleus that create histamines, and GABA, which is glutamine, aminobutyric acid, that is very unique neuromediators that's crucial for these sleep mechanisms. So it's a little complicated, but the thing is, I'm trying to say that this brain keeps you awake. If this system is synchronized and works perfectly, so you awake to the level that your cortex works perfectly, and you're able to do anything. Okay, you can do whatever you want, and your organs actually, controlled in the way they're supposed to be controlled. So when this system gets to the point that it's called homeostatic drive, when these ATP molecules, they fall apart, releasing energy, and adenosine is a hormone that inhibits this system of awakeness, then you fall asleep, then you feel tired and everything. So there's one way, it's called homeostatic drive. So adenosine is a key, it's called tiredness hormone or fatigue hormone, that drops your blood pressure, your heart rate, your temperature body drops down, and then you fall asleep naturally. Okay? And there's another thing that is, you see, this awakeness centers, they perform in a way like you have to inhibit them, you have to slow down them, so then you fall asleep, right? But the other system is, it's called the circadian cycle, and it's too complicated too, but I will just do a short version of it. So there is a suprachiasmatic center, and by a little top of the center there is another crucial center. It's called ventricular lateral preoptic center that actually has a receptor for GABA, this glutamic aminobutyric acid. So the thing is, if you, it's a little complicated. That's why I wanted this computer, but it's a complex system to show you. But it's easy if you see the graphics, okay? So anyways, this system is so complicated, and even now I'm confused myself, okay? And it kind of, we don't need to know that, but you just, I want to see that you see how it's complex, and we're offering this simple way to do this, because they do, mostly the pills, they act on this GABA system. And this GABA system opens up the channels for chloride ions into the cell, and they polarize the cell, like they polarize in the membrane, and then your whole brain inhibits, like it slows down. So it's like toxic influence on your brain, all these pills and everything. So, but you're trying to inhibit just little tiny center, which is 1 millimeter thing, and taking this pill, and this pill actually toxicates whole brain. Is it worth it? I don't think so, right? So that's why we have to come up with something simple, practical, and better than anything else, right? And here we go. I was trying to see how the conventional medicine works against alternative medicine. And alternative medicine is more simple, it's really simple, and they use words that everybody understands, okay? And it's not confusing at all, and it's really practical. And alternative medicine, I studied this Ayurveda medicine. And they have this beautiful concept of human body, how it works. So they say there's 3 main bodies: physical, energy body, and mental body. So these three bodies, if they're synchronized, you can control it. If they're dysynchronized, you cannot control. So if you cannot control your sleep, it means you're not synchronized. The energy, the mental, and physical body. So, and the key point here is energy body. So energy, see, I was explaining how it's in conventional medicine, how brain works, how this neuromediators shoots and keeps your brain working. But they come up with like a concept of subtle energy, and they divide it on 5 subtle energies in your body. So we have main prana, they call prana, in our head. Main prana. And it actually responsible for everything that comes in. Okay? So whenever we inhale, we take knowledge, we look at anything, so we consuming this through this energy. And there's another energy that against it is like draining this energy is it's called apana. It goes down. So whenever we exhale, whenever you discriminate or relieve, it's that's type of energy. And they have Udana Vayu, Vyana Vayu, and Samana Vayu. That's have nothing to do with our course. So the thing is, if we learn how to control these 2 main energies in our body, that's it. You will be able to fall asleep right away. And I'm going to show how it works, and we're going to practice all together, and it takes like not much time. So do you guys have any questions?
Not for now.
Not for now. Okay, so I was saying about this ventricular lateral preoptic center. It's hard to pronounce and all that stuff. But the thing is, this center, why is it so important? Because you see, kids, they fall asleep right away, right? 2 minutes and then they sleep. They're like running around and say, okay, you gotta go to bed. No, I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go. And then you just take him, put him on the bed. 2 minutes, he falls asleep. And adults, they say, oh, I want to go sleep. I want to go sleep. And then they won't sleep, and then they just up till like 2-3 hours. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? Kids don't want to go to sleep, and then they fall asleep right away. Adults want to go to sleep, they don't fall asleep. They don't fall asleep, right? It's amazing. And when I was reading about this GABA, after like 28, 30, this GABA mediator, instead of being a stimulator, it becomes inhibitor. And here's the point. You see, when it's kid, this GABA system works like stimulator for him, right? And when he closes the eyes, this GABA goes right in this center because they have this certain type of neuromediators that create images all the time. Because GABA is a stimulator, okay? It creates images all the time. But when we close our eyes, we don't create these images, okay? Because the problem is, after age 35, we have this problem with eyesight. We cannot see close, right? So we have this paralysis of accommodation. The lens here becomes stiff, and we cannot see close. But when kids close their eyes, they see darkness, and sometimes like flashes of lights. And out of those lights, they create images right away. And those images, it's a gate to the sleep kingdom. Got it? They fall asleep right away in 2 minutes. Okay? But we cannot do that because we don't have this ability anymore, because we have this problem with our eyesight. And we have to restore this ability, and here's the course. Okay? And the other thing is, sleep happens in a few stages. Okay, there is 4 stages of sleep. There is non-REM sleep and REM sleep, orthodoxal and non-orthodoxal. So we have to, when we're old, right, we have to prepare ourselves to fall into sleep. Because when we're in a beta wave sleep, when I'm active, I have beta waves, okay? But to fall asleep, I have to come to the point when my brain produces alpha waves. But kids, they don't have to do that because they have strong GABA stimulations. We have GABA inhibitor, which is, and GABA inhibits this, FLAPO center, as I say, ventricular perioptic center. We cannot do that. So we have to create these reflexes ourselves. And to create reflex, scientists, they come up with these experiments that reflex has to be built, during 10,000 hours. if it 10,000 hours, then adhesions and spikes hold this neuron to the other neuron. They have these axons, and actually, if this reflex happens like all the time, little by little, it creates spikes, and it goes without saying, it goes fast. So if we do that like consistently, then you will create this reflex right away, and then you just lay down and fall asleep easily. And the thing is, when we started doing this practically, you have to do that at least like 3-4 times a day during the day, and by the time you go to bed, you just fall asleep easily. Okay? So do you have any questions?
Можете, пожалуйста, повторить, пожалуйста, последние там несколько фраз? Я прошу прощения. Ну, 2-3, вот вы сказали сейчас, I'm sorry for my Russian, but it's important and I didn't understand, really. It's a couple last phrases. Последние, вот вы сказали, что если вы будете делать это каждый день, то у вас не будет проблемы. О чем мы говорили? Я не поняла это. Можете вы мне, пожалуйста, отвечать? Я не поняла, потому что я, в смысле, английский.
Я имею в виду, что рефлексы мы должны их построить, рефлексы.
Вот
для того, чтобы их построить, для того, чтобы ваши нейроны избирательно шли именно на то место, не расплывались, для этого нужно просто практиковать минимум 3 раза в день, хотя бы по 15 минут. Тогда у вас будет рефлекс. Потом вы же ложитесь и автоматически, вам же не надо ничего делать, этот рефлекс сам расрабатывает, и вы засыпаете.
Айбек еще не сказал, что нужно делать.
Ну все, я поняла.
Вот это. Мы еще не дошли до этого.
Okay.
Are we creating new pathways or creating new reflex parks?
That's a very good question, yeah. So the thing is, we have to create new reflexes because you see as I say, this GABA system doesn't work anymore for us. We have bad eyesight, we have bad thresholds, of the action potential. So our nervous system is screwed up. I mean, it's like giving up on you. And it's little by little gets rotten, and we have dementia, we have no memory, we have no concentration, no attention, and then that's it. Welcome to the,
Nursing home.
Alzheimer's home, yeah. So that's why we have to create new reflexes, and it's, I think after 45, everybody has to do this. Otherwise, it's like kind of, you see, if you don't sleep well, you go into the stage of depression, like inner depression. Like you feel like nothing gives you like happiness, nothing. Because you're tired, you're always tired, you like become a grumpy and mean person. You know what I mean? And you need certain stimuli, like coffee all the time, like Coca-Cola, that's sweet and all that stuff. So that creates a big problem because you see, if you the hormone of fatigue is adenosine, and competitor to adenosine is caffeine. So when you drink coffee, you think you get boost, but what happened to this adenosine? What you think? It got wasted. Okay. So and your system doesn't feel this adenosine. It has kind of, it loses the connection. The receptors, they don't want to see this adenosine anymore. And you're in this stage when adenosine accumulates, and then you like, your head is like, you know, in this vibration, like zzz, all the time. And you know what this, the sound of like all the time? It's your brain always scanned 48 times a second, always scanned. So, because you have to know that you are, let's say I'm Aybek, right? How do I know that? How I'm keeping this always, my knowledge of myself, all this memory all the time with me? It has to be like scanning all the time. If it stops, you lose that, and then you lose everything, like memory. That's why they say, hey, do you know who's president, what day today, blah, blah, blah. So they kind of check, is it scanning working or not? So this is very important. And we have to create new reflexes. And it's actually very easy, it's natural. Okay? So we will start with this eyesight. Because as I say, after 40 or 45 or whatever, we lose this softness of lens. We have this lens in eye. And then the ciliary muscles, they don't work anymore. And you don't have this accommodation, like, let's say, if you see there and then you bring this close, you cannot see. Same thing, when you close your eyes still there. Naturally, when you close your eyes have to like bring your sight close. And then it stimulates retina, and retina stimulates suprachiasmatic centers, and then suprachiasmatic centers stimulates ventricular-lateral para-optic centers, and then flip off, you fall asleep right away. Okay, but it's not happening because your eye's still there, and you just, with this world, you cannot just go to the sleep. You're still with this world, and what happens? You just think of something. Okay, how do I fall asleep? And then all these ideas come, and then you're still there, because it's dreams have to be under cortex, not on cortex. Because whenever you see, it always shoots to the cortex. And cortex is fully awakeness stage when cortex works, okay? But to be able to, stop these cortex things and go to the first memory, and then, thalamus, hypothalamus, and then